Oh my goodness, does this actually mean it's working? Facebook is more frustrating sometimes, I think, than it's even worth. But if I can get this twisted around the right way. It's more frustrating sometimes, I think, than it's even worth. But if I can get this twisted around the right way. So I guess my Hello Monday title is a good title for this, because it started out like a rainy Monday in northwestern Pennsylvania usually does. So I guess my Hello Monday title is a good title for this, because it started out like a rainy Monday in northwestern Pennsylvania usually. Now if I can figure out the new settings on here. And I don't know if you guys can hear my live that I have going. Turn that off. Well, we'll do it this way since it's already going on 11 o'clock today, and I wanted to start at 10 o'clock. And we are going to play today with the new Curvy set that Stampin' Up has released, and as a demonstrator we had access to this ahead of time, and I did do a few cards while I was sitting here waiting for Facebook to start. I even got another one done. Well, almost done. This is the one that I was just working on while I was waiting for Facebook Live to begin, when it told me it can't begin. And so we'll get started on that one. The Curvy set comes with just some regular sentiments here. They're kind of nice, and die set. And then there is a special release for Christmas. It has a coordinating Christmas stamp set and Christmas papers, and the Christmas products are only going to be available to customers until January 4th, but really pretty papers. So I have one Christmas card cut and started. Then if I have time here through all this, I will get to that today too. This set's going to be available to customers beginning November 3rd. And since I'm not really ready to start Christmas cards yet, I'm just going to do a couple of birthday cards and missing my friends cards, things like that. And this started with the fact that I don't ever use our magenta paper and ink, and I don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me. The new 2021 colors that came out with Bumblebee, I use Bumblebee a lot. I use Moonlight Madness a lot. Cinnamon Cider is like second nature. That's just like right in there with my regular paper and ink. I use it all the time. It just coordinates with everything. But the Magenta Madness just doesn't speak to me, so I figured today that's what I was going to use. And I did find a pretty striped paper and some of the coordinating pattern DSP that we had with this set. So I cut a little piece of that. And actually, I messed up my first card because when I added my magenta and went to stamp my sentiment, I tried to keep it pretty monochromatic and use the magenta ink as well, and then I couldn't even see it. So kind of took that card apart, and we used the bits that we can use. And I started with a sheet of Whisper White heavy cardstock that was 8.5 by 11, and I cut my cardstock in half and then folded it in half again, and we get our normal 5.5 by 4.25 card. I wasn't too sure how wide I wanted the pink to cover up the stripe, so I cut a piece of the Magenta Madness at about 3.5 because I figured if I wanted to make it more striped and less pink, I could cut this end of it off. And then I just used our Curvy die to cut the little cute hole punch border there. But once I got it on here, I kind of liked the wider pink, so I guess it spoke to me a little bit more now. I don't know. I don't know why. And I like pinks and purple, so I'm not sure why this pink just really isn't, I don't know. So let me get a little bit of adhesive on the back of this die cut and add it to our card. And like I said, I tried to stamp my greeting there with the pink as well and didn't really like it, so I just got out wherever I put it here, my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Here it is. And I had Made with Love Just for You. And that is out of the Quite Curvy set, not the Christmas one. Probably could have stamped that before I glued it on, just the way the Monday's going today. Probably would have been better, but say a prayer, hold your breath. Alright, thank you. And then right before I finally was able to get this started, I peeked through some of my, these aren't Stampin' Up, but I had some little pink, I don't know what they are, little sequiny looking dots. I thought those would be cute to just jazz it up a bit, because it's pretty plain. And I didn't have time to go in and stamp the flowers on here, which I think would have been kind of pretty. I don't know with the stripes, maybe not. Stripes and polka dots I think are probably better. So we'll add our little polka dots. And I usually just kind of lay my gems or adhesive back dots or whatever I have. I just kind of lay them around until I think it looks okay. And then I stick them on. I can take them off if I don't like them or move them around a little bit. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to pick up the little sequins. It'll be flipped upside down. And this tool has a putty end on the one side, so it picks these up if I can get my finger out of the way. There we go. And we'll just stick these around. I think that one's upside down too. That's a little bit too much. Hope everybody's doing good. It's pretty rainy here in northwestern Pennsylvania. I'm not really complaining, I guess, because we've not had a lot of rain, and where I live we have well water, so some rain right now is really a good thing. I do think with the temperature change in this rain, though, that this will be about the end of our beautiful leaves. This has to be one of the most colorful autumns, I think, that I've ever seen. Well, in a long time anyway. I think it's time to change my little putty end on this. Running out. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a friend who came in from out of town that I haven't seen in about a year. So we took a ride out to the only festival really that's still happening with COVID. We went out to Christmas in the Woods yesterday for a little bit in the morning and walked around. It was really a gift to me just to be able to walk around with her and enjoy her company. It's just been too long. Get on. There we go. Other than that, we've been working around our property. We had some humongous trees in our side yard that were a little threatening towards the house. So we had, they were really big. We called a tree cutting service in to come and take them down, and then in the spring we can plant some more manageable trees that hopefully won't fall on the house. So we had that going on. My nephew got married one weekend. And other than that, I've had quite a bit of time to make some cards, which is a good thing. We do have a craft fair coming up for our Relay for Life team, so I'm trying to get some inventory stocked back up, since I had promised I would set a table up at that craft fair. So all in all, that was my last minute card that I did, and I think it's okay. I think it looks better with the little polka dots. The ones that I had originally planned to do this morning, again, I was using the new 2021 in colors from Stampin Up, and I had gotten some paper, some 6x6 sheets of paper that included flowers for different seasons, flowers for every season. And there's one in here, my original card that I'm going to show you next, had some sunflowers on it. I must have really liked that paper because this was the last card that I was able to do with that. So the one I'm going to do live here has a bit of a different sunflower pattern. This was the original one that I made to show today. A little glue dot. And this is the paper that I have kind of run out of. So I started with a piece of Bumblebee cardstock. Again, an 8.5 by 11 sheet, cut in half and then scored and folded. I'm going to have pink polka dots everywhere today too. And in that pack of 6x6 paper, I found this cute little decorative pattern. I thought I'd add that to the background, and we'll just give it a little bit of interest. So just using Stampin' Seal Plus adhesive, I cut this sheet to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so that it will fit right on here. I think that needs smooth down a little bit. And then I used these two dies together on my sunflower paper when I die cut them. And because this is when I was just playing with the set, after I first got it, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen when I did two of them together. So it cut this sheet with a straight edge. The bottom half, I got my little floral design, and then it cut out the little dotted section separate. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with that, and I thought, well, that might be kind of cute to add to the card front to break up all of the background. And so that's what we did. I wanted to put the I don't know if you can see the die cut pattern that that one die made. I want that on the bottom. I may have to add a glue dot on that one little end right there. And then the solid piece on the top. Little glue things all over the place. And my sentiment, my greeting, is this it? Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. I need some birthday cards, so this is great. This is another one that I was smart enough this time to try it on scrap paper before I made the card, though. I tried to use the Bumblebee ink on here, and it really didn't show very well, so we went with my favorite cinnamon cider. And these sentiments follow the curves of the die cuts. So just lining it up, follow along, stamped my greeting on there. Yay, 2 for 2. And then I took that little polka dotted piece. I used the Stampin' Seal Plus on my first one, but it left it a little sticky behind the dots, so I think we're just going to use the multi-purpose glue and run a little stream of that along the edge. It might be safer. Make sure that we're following the curve the same direction. I like to watch a lot of other demonstrators too for inspiration and tips. And I was watching Rachel Tessman the other day, who's always Rachel's a teacher, so I love watching how she explains to make her cards, because she's very, first of all, she's very calm, because today I'm really flustered after trying to get this video going. So her calmness makes me want to go out and try to make things. But she gave a tip that if when I go to do Christmas cards, I love the brushed metallic paper that Stampin' Up has, and I use it a lot at Christmas. I use metallic papers a lot. She did give a little tip that if you're gonna die cut 2 layers together with this Curvy set, that you try to die cut them together, because when you go to layer them on the card front, sometimes it's a little difficult to get these curves exactly the same on 2 sheets. And I'm thinking she had a good point. So I did try it, and I was able to get 2 sheets of paper cut through my die cutting machine easily. That wasn't even a problem. So I'm glad I have that tip for when I go to do Christmas cards. I was looking for my little pick. I wanted to put a glue dot under that one end. I think this one's too big. You could add some little gemstones and stuff to this too to brighten it up, but I don't know. I don't know. I prefer my cards to be a little bit plainer and aim more for the simple, elegant, if that's what I want to call it. And I need to trim off my tiny little piece here. A little bit longer than my cardstock. There we go. And so this was card number 2. Simple, but a cute little birthday card. I don't know if I have my, I don't think I have my in color dots out here. I may add a couple of those after a while. And the very first one that I did when I first got this Curvy set was using the Misty Moonlight, which I do find myself reaching for a lot. Again, I was using the little 6x6 designer papers that I got in my packet, the flowers for every season. And I just cut a piece of that paper because I wanted a little bit of a border on this one. I cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut a piece of Whisper White, also the same. Oh, I say this because I was going to show you that after we die cut the pieces to use on our cards, these are all getting set aside because isn't that just a snowy hillside? And I have lots of little characters that I can stamp, penguins and stuff, that will be just great on a snowy hillside. So we have a couple of those ready. That'll come a little bit later when we get into our Christmas cards. So back to birthday cards. October was a busy birthday month for me. Actually, yesterday was my sister's birthday. I didn't get to see her, but I do have her card sitting downstairs for her. And I'm just going to center my designer paper on the front of the Whisper White. I think I will stamp this first because I've been way too lucky so far. And I'm going to stamp on the Whisper White with Misty Moonlight. And I need my cleaner so I can scrub my stamper. Again, this is going to follow the curve of the cut in the paper. I really like this font. It's kind of delicate looking. I really like it. Get that glued onto the front of our card. Come on. Yeah, today will be the day that I run out of adhesive in here too. Which I think I might just have done. Ooh. That was dangerous. I had ink on my finger. Oh, I did get a little on the white card. Let's see if I can use my little magic eraser and get that off of there. So after I got the top part put on here, I kind of thought that I needed a little something something because it was just too much white. There we go. Yay! And so in the Quite Curvy set, we have some little birdies, and I used my Stampin' blends. I stamped one of the small birds and die cut him out, and then I just used some Stampin' Blends alcohol markers. I used the Seaside Spray to color my little bird in blue, and then just a tad of crumb cake on his belly. And there's also a small stamp for some leaves and the coordinating die for that. So we're going to give the little bird a leaf to sit on. I'm just going to use a glue dot since I think I just finished my ink. And I'm not really sure where I have my refills at. So we'll put one there. And then I put the little bird. He kind of reminds me of a nuthatch. Guess you could color him to make any color you want him to be. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of him. And then my second leaf, I put a dimensional on it too so that he had something to actually put his little feet on instead of kind of hanging in the air there. That's a little bit too big. I think I have to cut that one. Those are my sticky scissors. I only use those for cutting dimensionals or sticky papers. There. Now he has something to stand on. So that was our little attach card. And then the last card, I hadn't even finished when Facebook decided to be nice to me. But I did get some pieces cut out. And in the 6x6 sheets, I found a piece of star paper, and I was trying to find something that was going to coordinate with the little star stamp in the Curvy Christmas set. I really like the stars. And I'm going to play with that a little bit more. I'm thinking heat embossing with maybe some silver or gold. But we're lucky we got this far today, so. On the back of all of the designer series paper, it reminds you of the coordinating colors so you can match your inks and papers up. And this set uses Cherry Cobbler, Sahara Sand, Shaded Spruce, and Whisper White. So I was able to get a piece of cherry cobbler cut real quick. And I don't think I want to leave a background. I think I'm going to make it the whole, or maybe I'm not, because my white piece is cut a little smaller. So I'm going to make this 4 1/4 by 5 and 4 by 5 1/4. What am I done? 4 by 5 1/4. And we'll have a nice little cherry cobbler border around that. Add the snow. I think when I do these, I'm going to start doing them out of the thick Whisper White because that little end keeps popping up. And then we'll add some stars. And I picked Thinking of You at Christmas, which again follows the curve of the die. This is a long stamp. I think, oh no, it will fit on there. I was going to say, I think it might be too long for my long block, but it's just going to make it good. And I haven't used this stamp yet, so I need to do that on a piece of scrap paper first. Something in my ink. I think I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper under this because it's a little bit longer than my card front. I don't want to get ink all over my mat. Make sure I have my curve going the right way. Here we go on a wing and a prayer again. I just hold my block there for a couple seconds and let the ink soak into my paper. Ooh. Ooh. Pretty. Thinking of You at Christmas. Let me get a clean one. And again, I haven't used this, so I'm going to stamp it a couple times Oh, I should have used my Stamparatus because my T and my F are a little bit strange looking there. If I used my Stamparatus, I could have restamped it. We'll make do today. We have some elegant faceted gems that we could add to this. I think I have some rhinestones too. Oh, this is empty. I thank you all for hanging in there and being patient while I fought with my camera. Hopefully by next Monday I'll have this perfected. Doubt it, but I'm gonna give it a try. Oh, that's not bad. If I want to mess up my greeting there. Let's see. We have enough of everything. I should be able to find. Those for gold. I'm going to use gold on that one. Ooh, adhesive back snowflakes. Let's see what that looks like. Why not? Right? Why not? It's going to be here soon enough. Put a few snowflakes on our starry sky. I'll have to see if there's a blue one in there with stars on it. I didn't really have time to go through all the paper very much. Here we can kind of hide the mist ink spot. Strategically placed. And maybe one more up here. Those are a little iridescent. They kind of have a pretty, ooh, pretty shimmer to them. And so there's my first Christmas card. Last minute thrown together, but still a Christmas card. I shouldn't say that. We did do some kits earlier in the season. Here I had available for customers to make 3 or 4 Christmas cards, different designs. I think it made 12 cards. So I did design some earlier in the season, but I think that the Curvy Christmas stamp set and dies is going to be a hit. Take a closer look at some of that paper. I really like to see if there's blue in there. And I'll lay these out so you can see these sets again. And our cards. And again, I thank y'all for being patient, hanging in there, and giving me a chance to jump on, figure a way to share this new stamp set with you. Remember, this will be available starting November 3rd, and the Christmas paper and Christmas set will be available until January 4th. But, oh, that's cute. Sahara sand. I don't think there was blue in here. Might be pretty with the Sahara sand stars, huh? Oh, and the cherry cobbler with it. Pretty, pretty. Well, I hope your Monday goes beautifully for you, and that you have a chance to craft a little bit, maybe make a card for somebody who could use a smile, and get that sent out to them, brighten up their dreary rainy day. I think it's supposed to rain here all week, so just getting a little greeting from you might make their day. You might be the best thing that happens to them. So thanks again for joining, and hopefully we'll get this video stuff figured out for next Monday, and we'll see you then. Have a good week, you guys.